Hello, this is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We are heading down to southern Idaho to a sheep festival. Now, by the way, this painting behind me is an old painting way back in the days. It comes from before they docked the sheep's tail. So tails are naturally on sheep, but they dock them nowadays for sanitary reasons. But let's head down to Idaho to a great sheep festival. It is called the Trailing of the Sheep Festival, and it occurs each fall. The huge market showcases many food and sheep-related products. We took Highway 93 in Idaho to get there. And there's a loop road off of Highway 93. It's Highway 75. And in that loop road are the communities of Ketchum, Sun Valley, and Hailey. Take a look at the one-time movie stars and television celebrities that made the Sun Valley, Ketchum area quite a famous place. Here are only some that made the Sun Valley area famous and glamorous resort. People like Marilyn Monroe, Lucille Ball, the Kennedy family, old-time actors like Gary Cooper, Clark Gable, the famous author Ernest Hemingway, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Errol Flynn, old-time actor, people like Clint Eastwood and Tom Hanks are only some. We drove back and forth between the communities as they were less than probably a dozen kilometers apart. We saw a few deer and these pronghorn antelope, which are the fastest next to the cheetah in the world. Bikes, motorbikes, ATVs, and sheep owners all seemed to respect one another and shared the backcountry. Unfortunately, many communities seem to squabble over land use patterns. The bicyclers can't get along with the quads, and the quads can't get along with the horse riders, and so on. It seems that this community here has turned a potential conflict situation into a community celebration in which everyone benefits. The sheep graze the higher elevations over the summer, but in the fall, the sheep were brought down from the high country and trucked to lower elevations. Some wintered in places like Utah, some in California, or wherever feed was available, and lower elevations meant less severe winters. So when the sheep were brought down, it was time to celebrate and have a festival. All the communities were well-to-do upscale places. Nice places to stay and nice places to eat out. Elevation is pretty high, so you saw little fire pits like this along the sidewalks, and it was jacket weather some nights. Already higher than Denver, Colorado's mile-high city, elevation here is in the 1,750 meter range and goes up to mountain peaks over 2,800 meters high. Many restaurants specialized in offering lamb on the menu during the festival. And I thought these bar stools made out of big tree trunks, that was kind of unique. There are two kinds of sheep meat. Mutton is from the older sheep, and lamb from the young sheep. We really got away from eating sheep after World War II, when vets told stories of being fed distasteful old mutton. What you eat is partly habit, and we just got out of the cultural habit of eating sheep meat. And eating mutton does take getting used to, but lamb is juicy and tasty. Just try it sometime. Compared to other countries, relatively less sheep meat is eaten in Canada and the U.S. Nowadays, it's easier to mass produce food from beef, chickens, and hogs than to raise sheep. And synthetic fibers and other countries now making our clothes has hurt the sheep industry in North America. The festival is in the fall, and of course the colors change, and it was a beautiful, colorful landscape. Let's just drive along the street and enjoy the colors of the fall trees. The hills were dry, but it was colorful in town. For old fellas like me, it was nice bicycling, nice flat country. The younger people had a chance to go up into the hills to the more challenging stuff, but down here in the valley, you could bicycle from town to town. It was a bicycle-friendly area. Lots of rentals available and very nice asphalt trails through the countryside. I'm just trying to keep up with my wife. That noise you might hear, that's from the fat tires on our bikes. They're a little more sturdy, but they do make a little bit of noise. Nice countryside. And it's a ski area, and we pass these monuments about skiing and snowboarding. And back onto the trail again. The market was big, and there was a lot of sheep-oriented things in it. Markets were set up in different towns on different days. And as I said, there was a kind of a sheep theme to a lot of it, but it was varied and really quite an interesting areas to walk through. Let's just take a little while and look at some of the things in the market. These were different plush toys and decorations. All kinds of characters here. This was some wood products. There was wood and wool, and not limited to sheep and wool by any means. All kinds of sweaters and other clothes, blankets, and winter things like mittens and toques. More paintings and all kind of wool fibers in different stages of processing. My wife buying out the farm again, and people were friendly and knew their product, and some even worked during the day while the folks walked by. Much of the work was handcrafted and beautiful. Come on, let's get to the music.
Que lleva por título Amantes Perfectos.
This group was from Peru, and they were the children and grandchildren of many long-time shepherds who oversaw the flocks of sheep throughout the summer in the high country. They were celebrating and showing dance and music aspects of their Peruvian culture. After a time period, immigration law required they return to their Peruvian homeland a minimum time, and then they could return to their shepherd work in the U.S. And descendants of the Scottish were here as well. And they came with their bagpipes. By afternoon, it was a full house.
All right, let's switch gears.
We quickly learned what switch gears meant. They came and got the crowd up onto the dance floor, and everybody joined in. These folks were associated, they were descendants of the Basque people of Spain, long associated with the sheep industry and sheep herding. We were learning the steps now, and people were really starting to get into it.
And a 3.
And then we're going the other way this time. Left step outside.
We
Right
didn't
step
just
inside.
watch, we got to
Left step
participate.
forward, turn around.
This part one of the videos, we talked more about the festival itself. But part two, we'll get more into the sheep ranching. I also made a video in the Alberta channel of my YouTube site. In that Alberta video, we show how wool is processed into yarn and fabric. All right, we're rolling on. So hit the subscribe button, and that'll tell you when we'll be able to put more videos on the internet. And we're going to be visiting other places as the time goes by. So long for now. This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. To see the other video on the Idaho Sheep Festival and other videos, just Google like it says at the top, the @ at Don Barnett 5090. Click on my name and hit playlists and scroll down. Each playlist has several videos.